going on? Hey, there we go. Got my YouTube channel going on at the same time. What's up, everyone? So, this is our second, my TV's doing something weird. We're going to have to turn that sucker off, I think. There we go. Alright, much better. How y'all doing tonight? Alright, so we are back. We are here. It is great to see you all tonight. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. So I just got done writing some more of my book. And we are here on the podcast for My Voice for Theirs. Boy, it's been a busy week, hasn't it? Oh, my Lord. Well, this is the second part of how do you know if you're dealing with a psychopath? You know, I'll tell you what, after this first one aired, I've had a lot of personal phone calls asking me, how the hell do you know how to deal with a psychopath? Well, I'm going to tell you what, I've lived with enough of them. No, really. Education, training, family, dealing with them, also life experience. That's how. Now, I'll tell you, we're going to dig right into this, okay? This is going to be part 2. We're going to go over some in depth, some not, but about 9 more things about how you're going to deal with I'll give you about 9 more clues. 9 more clues about how you're going to know that you're dealing with a psychopath. But this is going to be a little bit different tonight. Be a little bit better for you. I was a little bit tired. The other night I've kind of turned into a vampire, which I don't mind. I write better at night. I kind of got a deadline kicking on this book. So, we've got No More Tears is hooked up with, Dale Wiley with his Heroes and Miracles. Oh, my Lord, sorry. And I just had a nice long conversation with him today. It was one of the conversations I had, and he wanted me to let you all know that our fundraising is going great for Tiffany's book, and then my name's Tiffany as well. So we're doing great on the funding, but if anybody has any questions about the funding and the fundraising for these books, because he is a nonprofit producer and media guru conglomerate, and he was a lawyer for 20 years, and then he's got all these wonderful podcasts, and he's doing restorative justice now, and it's just wonderful. He sent it to me today. And, the whole point of getting all these funds raised to get these books produced is because these books, we want them to be able to go out for free to people. Okay, see, we're not normal writers. We're not in it for the money. Yeah, maybe eventually that some money can go to the nonprofits. But that's not what we do this for. We do this... Sorry, my cats are fighting. We do this so that way we can let the people hear our story. That's what you want to do. So, we've got, the neuroscience of psychology's got some intriguing findings out there. And for all of you that know me, I've got that plate over here on this side of my head. And for all of you that are listening, this will be on our YouTube channel later as well. It's No More Tears 21:4 non/profit, and it's got a dash in there. YouTube channel, so it's not that hard to find. I will put the link. I will type in the link for the YouTube channel in the podcast for today. That way I know that it's in there as well. Okay. But anyways, back to this book. Mr. Dale Wiley wants everyone to know that if you got any questions about getting, this is a 501c3 nonprofit that I'm working with that's publishing my book. So you will get your kickback from your on your tax returns for donating to this nonprofit. He does all the publishing for the books. And also this award that I got for being in the September issue of Power Magazine for nonprofit management and victim advocacy. I will be in it, and they are taking my story and they're using it for the Share a Story section. So that's awesome. And I did not expect that. They said that if we can come up with, as a nonprofit, the reason we started the GoFundMe is because the reason the GoFundMe is so high at $2,000 is because for $1,000, this magazine will put a national press release out to every single media conglomerate in the United States and every single major newspaper in the United States for a flat fee of $9.95, and they will help us write the press release. They will do the press release. They will release the press release. They will manage the media for us. They will handle all of that for us. Oh my God, really? And then they will also help with like the branding and the design logo as well. So the reason we ask for the $2,000 on the GoFundMe is it will help get the initial push for the Lou threw me for a loop, and it will also get the initial press release set out to the entire United States about me and No More Tears being the first, if not the first, survivor leader of human trafficking, going through what I've went through, turning my life around, being able to do what I do, and now being recognized in the Fortune 500 Power Women of Empowerment magazine for human trafficking nonprofit management at a 529c level nonprofit. We're not even a 501c3 yet because we don't want to be. So if you could find it in your hearts to support us, because we have this GoFundMe is a joint GoFundMe between Dale's nonprofit and mine. And we would really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Because we don't normally ask for funds at all. Or even if somebody wants to do a sponsorship to write it off, they can contact Dale. And we'll do it through him. We will eventually be getting our 501c3. We do want to let people know we are going to do that. It's a great opportunity. As soon as we get the funds in, we will go ahead and go through with that. But we have to try to get a car first. Priorities. Life's gotten busier, but we want to go ahead and we wanted to fill you in on all that good information first, because there is some good things happening. There's some good training opportunities coming up. I'm going to do another podcast later about that. But right now, I really wanted to finish this 9 clues of how you might be dealing with a psychopath. Because, I'm telling you what, you'd be dealing with a psychopath. All right, so we're going to deal with like a little bit of terminology first, because with terminology, obviously, you have terminology. Gotta get a drink. Okay. We want to clear up some confusion. Apparently, I had this discussion earlier with some people. And we're going to clear up some confusion about what is the difference between sociology and psychology. Sorry, too in depth for you guys. What is the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath? Oh, now, back in the 1800s, doctors, who worked with mental patients, they began to notice that some of their patients who appeared outwardly normally had what termed a normal moral depravity or moral insanity. Gotta shut the door. So, when the doctors realized this, they noticed that they had a moral insanity and that they seemed to possess no sense of ethics. Now, ethics. We all know what ethics is, right? That means that they had no moral they didn't have any rights of other people. They didn't know what the rights of the other people were. They didn't care what the rights of the other people were. They didn't care. They just didn't care. So the term psychopathy was first applied to these people around 1900. Now listen, this was in the 1800s. So then you got to go forward 100 years. Now you're in the 1900s. Wow, 100 years. So think about all those crazy people, psychotic people, sociopathic people, what was being done to these people. Think how wrong that was, but they'll say it was for the name of science. So the term was changed to sociopath in the 1930s to emphasize the damage that they do to society. So you got psychopath, which is individually, and sociopath is what they do to society. So it's the easiest way to remember it. It's sociopath, outward, society. Psychopath, inward, singular. So currently, researchers have returned to using the term psychopath. But there's also another kind of tricky, easy way to remember it. I love doing like anagrams or trying to do like these and thous as far as when it comes to testing or just trying to remember things in your head. So like if you want to think of terms that have more serious disorders or genetics, traits, producing genetic traits in individuals, you're going to use the term sociopath because it refers hold on. Right. Sociopaths will be referred to less dangerous people who seem to be seen more as products to their environment, including their upbringing. Psychopaths are going to be used as a term to refer the more serious disorder linked to genetics. That's what I was trying to get at. I'm so sorry. Okay, so basically, if you're going to look at a disorder that's genetic, passed down, family to family to family, that's more or less going to be more of a psychotic disorder, okay? If you got something that's passed down genetic, when you say your Auntie Boo Boo is crazy, your Uncle Gray Gray's crazy, and now your cousin Tink Tink is crazy, that's because your cousin Tink Tink got it from your Auntie Boo Boo. That is a psychotic tendency. Okay. But when you say Auntie Boo Boo was trafficked or raped or got beaten in prison and she's crazy, That's a sociopathic craziness. Because it's dealt from trauma. And it's dealt from her environment. So, Cousin Tank might be crazy because he has a crazy mama. And she might not have known how to raise him right. So, it's probably not genetic. But you won't know unless you do brain scans. That causes for you. That's when the doctors have to look into it more. So if there's a history of trauma and abuse, it makes it much, much harder. And what I mean by that is it just makes it harder because you have to delve into the history. Gotta know the history. Gotta know that family dynamic, which is why we do that emotional, socioeconomic, generational trauma in our studies. Which is why I don't sleep. I feel like I don't sleep anymore. So, you got other researchers that do like to, they do like to do this. They love to use opposite and in terms. We got other researchers like to use primary psychopaths and secondary psychopaths. We're not even going to get into that. That's delving way off into the yellow brick road of psychopathy. And that's not even good. No. So, we're going to stop there with the definitions because I could go off the yellow brick road with definitions as well. I just wanted to give you guys a little taste of the definitions in between sociopath and psychopath. That way you kind of know. Sociopath is outward, psychopath is inward. Now, uncaring. We kind of went over uncaring the other night. They're callous, they show lack of empathy, cold-heartedness, dissocial personality disorder. It's a related diagnosis, though, but it does include a callous concern for other feelings of others. Let's see. Let's see. Psychopaths they're also not good at detecting fear in the faces of other people. Now, this is really important. Listen. If you're dealing with a psychopath, you're living with a psychopath, and this could be a psychopath. Yeah, they're not good at detecting your fear on your face. So when you're scared, like really scared of them, they don't know that. So if they're beating you, and you're scared, and you're telling them to stop, and you're crying, and you're screaming, I'm scared, stop hitting me. It doesn't register in their brain. They're literally a fucking psychopath. It doesn't register. So if you're with a narcissistic psychopath that gets his rocks off by doing that to you, that thinks he owns you, or she. I say he because that's my thing. So, then you're really screwed. Then you just have to try to stay alive. And you have to not cry and not let him, because he does recognize the pain. He doesn't feel it, or he doesn't feel, but he recognizes what the look is, and he actually tries to get that expression out of you. So he can't recognize what it is, like he can't feel it. He can't have that type of recognition like, oh, I know what she's feeling. No, that's not what he's doing. He will recognize the look as, oh, okay, I've got her to that point. And, oh, okay, now this is what I got to do. Yeah. So, but psychopaths do have extremely high thresholds for disgust. Now, what I mean by that is, like, crime-scene detectives. They can look at all these nasty pictures, mutilated bodies, faces. So can psychopaths. I'm not going out and I'm not saying that your homicide detective husband is a psychopath, okay? Listen, they are kind of borderline kooky on that level up there with their mentality. Just like me, with what we do, some people, this is why survivor leaders, some people question us with, are we really healed? Because we can go out and we can do the same thing. But me being 23 years in medical and emergency medicine, disaster management, area, and AO, doing all kinds of crap that I've done around the world, on top of me being a survivor, I do have that cold switch in my head where I can turn. I've been in the military. I can do all kinds of things. You can turn that switch off if you've been trained to do it. I don't like to do it, but I can do it. But this is talking about somebody that was born this way. Somebody that was not taught to be like this and taught to go home and turn it off. This is somebody that's like this all the time. And you can measure the reactions by showing them like disgusting and mutilated photos, but you can also judge the reaction by taking them around a bunch of dead bodies. Judge the reaction to nasty smells. Take them to a landfill. Take them to the take them to a fish market. Just take them to something real nasty. See what the reactions are. Take them around someplace you would think they'd be uncomfortable. See what the reactions are. Shallow emotions. Just showing a lack of emotions, especially social emotions such as guilt, embarrassment. Have a general poverty and major affective reactions and lack of remorse or shame. They're usually emotionally shallow and they have lack of guilt. And oh my Lord, now see, this is one that I do have to say, as being a survivor, I can relate to this one though. Psychopaths are notorious for their lack of fear. But what I mean by that is, okay, I can stand up into the face of an enemy and I have no fear. That's my downfall. It's a trigger. I don't care who you are. I get in your face now and I'm just like, I have no fear. Now, what they mean though is they literally have no fear. Like me, I still stand on a tall building and I'm scared to death, man. No. They literally they have no fear. I don't get it. They don't have no fear. And nope. If you put them in a situation where you strap them to a chair and they think they're going to get electrocuted, most people would be sweating, heart pounding, thinking they're really going to get shocked to shit. These people would just be sitting there and okay, irresponsible. Your psychopaths would be irresponsible if you're with one. Okay? They love to blame. Blame, externalization. They will do that. They will always blame others for what stuff that is actually their fault. And when they're forced into a corner, you better watch out. Because these admissions, they are not accompanied by the sense of shame or remorse. And they have no power to change the future behavior. So, you better watch out. Because they don't like that. Let's see. Insincere speech. Ranging from glibness and superficial charm to untruthfulness and insincerity to outright pathological lying. That one I think was always my favorite because my father actually believed his own fishtail lies by the end there. The trend toward devaluating speech itself among psychopaths is by inflating and distorting it towards selfish ends. So, everything that comes out of a psychopath's mouth has one goal: me, myself, and I. Just remember that: me, myself, and I. And this is not a good concept to have. If this is the kind of thinking that you're having and that you live by, you might be a psychopath. Sorry, I had to throw a Jeff Foxworthy in there. I hope you, Jeff, if you ever see that one, I hope you love that one. Just as a reminder, guys, here on Anchor, I'm actually on YouTube right now at the same time. So, okay. Now, so untruthfulness and insincerity to outright. Okay, yeah, we just went over that. Sorry, guys. So the criteria for APD include conning others for. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm jumping through. So conning others for personal profit or pleasure. Oh my God. Okay, let me stop right there. Conning others. I'm gonna circle. Got that? Conning others. The criteria. Right there. Right there. Big star. Big star. See? I don't understand how that never hit us before. Conning others for personal profit or pleasure. If that's not just the fucking underlying thing of trafficking, I don't know what is. Sexual exploitation and human trafficking, child trafficking. If you cannot say right there in the rules that traffickers aren't psychopaths, I don't know who else would. Why are they even arguing this anymore? So, and when they say that these women, us women, don't, our whole personality doesn't change, they're so full of it because it does change. It really does. I do have some of these traits. I've learned how to manage them with wonderful coping skills and a purpose in my life. But as you guys will find out in my book, I'm not sugar and spice and everything nice anymore. I do have issues, but I'm a good mom and I'm a good person and but I live alone, you know? I'm hard to deal with. But I'm a survivor and I help others and I do this. But if I couldn't do this, I don't know what I'd do. So, overconfidence. Here's a one that can trick them up. I'm so sorry. You want to trick somebody up that's a psychopath? Use metaphors and abstract words. They have trouble understanding them. And so if you're a really straight shooter speaker, or if you hear somebody that's, straight shooter speaker, or they don't have a very eloquent vocabulary, hit them up with something. See what happens. It's just another tripper. Overconfidence. Wow. So, sociopaths, this is about sociopaths, though. They're going to have a grandiose sense of self-worth. I love that. They really don't go into that except for that sentence and then a case study, and I can't read you about that. So, I mean, there's not really much about the overconfidenceness because psychopaths really don't have overconfidenceness that much. They're more about not being confident really at all. So sociopaths, they think my shit don't stink. but it's self-worth. It's not confidence. It's self-worth. There's a huge difference. So you can think that you're worth a lot but have zero confidence, or you can have 1,000% confidence and not think you're worth a damn. So there's a huge difference. With the narrowing of attention span, this one here really gets me because I don't like how I've looked at 3 different papers, research documents. I didn't like the one I had the other night, so I, pulled another one up I didn't like. I pulled this one up, and on all 3, I really, the only thing I can really tell you is that I wrote something down. Is that, they stay on task pretty good. But they decided to put it in like 4 paragraphs to just say that you stay on task. They're good on staying on task, and they're not easily distracted. Now, with selfishness, there's only very little left. I'm looking at my watch. Checkley spoke of, the psychopaths. They show pathologic centricity. You know what I mean. And the incapacity for love. So that affirmed the PPI's inclusion of egocentricity among its criteria, but the PCL had also mentioned a parasitic lifestyle. So that was my question is if we are pathologic, egocentric, and considered to be living a parasitic lifestyle, why are we the only ones on this planet doing it? Inability to plan for the future. These people are not planners. Okay? So they showed a huge failure to follow any life plan at all. They lacked any realistic long-term goals, and they showed them to be carefree and non-planners. Now with violence, this is the last one, violence. The criteria, now this is really important, the criteria for dissocial, okay, personality include a very low tolerance to frustration and a low threshold for any discharge of aggression to include violence. Now, it's down here. The antisocial personality disorder includes irritability, aggressiveness, and repeated physical fights and assaults. So you got antisocial going, up here. You got dissocial down here. Which one do you want to be? You want to be antisocial up here? Or you want to be smooth dissocial down here? Now the thing is, though, you have a couple questions that come to play at the end of this. Why are the dissocial people called dissocial, and why are they down here just being all passive while these other guys are up here going? Two-party system, maybe? Sorry. Alright. So that's all I've got for tonight. I've got a few questions on here that I'm going to lay out. I want to leave you with that I want you to think about. Philosophers, we really play, because I consider myself one in a way, we really play a very huge role in these things that we do here with bringing the messages out to you guys, okay? So I would like to leave you with a few questions, and if you want to think about them and you want to give me some answers in the comments, that would be awesome. If you could subscribe to the podcast, that would be awesome. I know it's on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, a few other platforms. Ones I don't even know about, actually. And it'd be really great. That'd be really awesome for you. If you could share it with some friends, that'd be great too. Get the word out. We got our Missouri Kate State meeting coming up here on the 28th. And then I've got a summit at the end of the month with the Missouri, NAMI and the National Institute for Substance Abuse. And we're hoping to have this book done around mid-October, hopefully. So we're looking for anyone who wants to help. All you gotta do is reach out. Reach out to me or Dale or Tabby. All three of us are working as a team on the book. But you can always reach out to anybody else within the No More Tears mainframe that works inside No More Tears, and that'd be, if you know who they are, if you know them. It'd be a great supportful help for all the work that we're doing. Because like I said, I do have staff, but I have not been able to pay them, unfortunately. And unfortunately, with us being a 529C, we are not allowed to apply for any of the grants. So we will not be getting any of the CARES Act funding to pay our people for the work they've been doing or will be doing. So we would appreciate it if we could get some support. And I thank you very much. And I will see you on the next podcast. And again, this one's called My Voice for Theirs. The other one is No More Tears. Or no, I'm sorry, we changed the name. Oh my God. It's NMT, No More Tears for it. So it's NMT 214 live in St. Louis. Yeah, it's like weird, ain't it? So NMT 214 live in St. Louis, yeah. So the initials, so like NMT 2114 live in St. Louis. Yeah, that's our business one. So those are both on all those. I know they're on Anchor and Spotify. And I think Dale told me that we are on Apple for one of them. I don't remember which one. So, but they're on a bunch of other freaking ones as well. But yes, we have had a great night. I wish you all more. It's 4:44, guys. It's all triple fours, man. Make a wish. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I will talk to y'all later. And it's been a great time to finish this one up with you. Check out Dale's new podcast, Restorative Justice, on Apple. I checked it out today. It was pretty cool. He's going to be talking about people who did not get justice in prison. I think this is a pretty cool new endeavor. And like I said, we're all trying to do our part. And, I'm working with a lot of cool people in D.C. now. And I'm just doing my artistry thing. Oh, yeah. I have access to, if your hospital VA hospital, rural hospital, community partner, if you do have any involvement with CV rapid COVID testing strips, the ones that you put the little drop of blood in, and then it takes it and it gets your results back in about 10 minutes, get a hold of me. I have a contract now, so, you never know who you know. But, we might be able to help you get those testing kits here in Missouri. Well, I will be able to, but I'm just saying, you never know who you know. So, there you go. All right, guys. You have a good day, and I will see you all tomorrow. All right, bye-bye. Signing off.